So have your say, get involved, and Q&A at the end. And if you're on catch-up later, get down below in the comment section and have your say about anything we're discussing. Peter Abate, what's going on there? Or Pab Bait 87. Do you know what I mean? Everybody's name's all messed up, lad. It's doing my head in. The Carrick Fan 2025. Good afternoon, lad. What's going on? They are, aren't they? They really are, aren't they? It's a disgrace. No, they really are. I mean, obviously the latest situation is that we are still in negotiations with them. Let's just get stuck into the transfer news then. We're going to cover the latest goings-on of the morning and what sort of come out today, and also if anything breaks during the next sort of 45 minutes or so, we'll let you know. But at the moment, obviously this deal is still not done between Man United and Brentford for Bryan Mbeumo. It's very frustrating. It has been going on for weeks now. United still negotiating with them, trying to finalise the deal and finalise the structure, which could still be at any moment. I still firmly believe this deal is getting done. He's indicated that he only wants to join Manchester United. We've already agreed the personal terms side of things with him, so that's not a problem there. The desire from the player is there. It's just really Brentford being a little bit greedy. Probably knowing Manchester United's situation and knowing that, well, we can probably give them an extra couple of million because that's what we do. They can squeeze as much money out of us as they can. And then Manchester United obviously will pay the money because we're desperate, so they might as well just hang on for an extra couple of million. That seems to be what's going on. But then again, you know, you never know. United and Ineos and the Glazers and these guys, they may well have an annoying structure in place with what they were offering, so you have to remember that as well. Like, Brentford probably just want all of the money up front. What we heard was there was an offer of 55 plus 10, oh no, sorry, 55 plus 7.5, wasn't it? Yeah, which fell short of Brentford's valuation. Well, if you'd have just paid the 62.5 million up front, you could have probably got him. That was from David Ornstein yesterday, wasn't it? It said that Mbeumo's told Brentford and Tottenham he will only join United if he leaves Brentford this summer. United proposals of 45 plus 10 and 55 plus 7.5 still short of Brentford's valuation. Talks ongoing. This was yesterday, but obviously there has been a little bit more that sort of come out this morning from people. We'll get into that now, which is, you know, Fabrizio just said that the negotiations for Bryan Mbeumo to Manchester United remain underway. Direct contacts ongoing. So it seems like they're trying to thrash this out over the weekend. United and Brentford discuss structure of the deal. Add-ons, crucial details as Man United remain confident. And Mbeumo informed all parties 3 days ago about clear desire to join Manchester United. So, you know, it seems obviously that is the case right now. It's still being worked on. It's annoying, but that's what it is. Brentford, I think, a little bit too greedy. There was nothing wrong with Man United's offer of 55 plus 7.5, in all honesty. That's a fantastic offer. Brentford just greedy, knowing they could probably get 65. They wanted 70. We went in with 55 combined. Then we went in with 62.5 combined. 65 is the magic number, if you ask me. So I think that's just a case of trying to figure out the final structure here, get it over the line, and then, you know, still by the 1st of July or very early in July, we could be seeing Bryan Mbeumo as a United player. So it's still very close to being done. It just hasn't been agreed yet. They've rejected the second bid from Manchester United, and they're looking for a little bit more, or at least a little bit of a different structure. So there you go. I mean, as Fab said there, the structure of the deal is being discussed. Add-ons, crucial details, all these sorts of things. Like, obviously, the bonuses or the money down the line is definitely going to be a factor. What's the actual triggers for these bonuses? You know, are they obtainable? That kind of thing. And also, maybe Brentford just don't want that, and that's why they've not accepted the bid yet, because United offering a little bit of money down the line as well, 7.5 add-ons. So it's very frustrating, but what can we do? We just have to hope that we're working on other things as well at the same time. But as I've said, if they're asking for too much money, if it really is 70 million that they want and they're firm on that and they're not going to budge, then we have to maybe look elsewhere, because there's certainly a lot of other options in the Premier League, whether it's the likes of Easy and Semenyo and Kluivert, Mateta, Wharton, you know, different positions you could have a look at. We don't necessarily have to get him in, but obviously we do want him in. His 20 goals last season, his 8 assists were brilliant, 38 games played, robust as you like. We don't have enough robust players. We've got a bunch of Luke Shaw melters. So yeah, he would definitely be a nice addition to the squad, and we want him. We definitely want him. But there comes a point when it's just like, it's too rich. It becomes too rich of a deal. And if Brentford Brentford really want to try and scupper this deal, maybe risk losing it, then that's up to them. But I think the golden number is 65 million combined, 60 up front and 5 down the line. Let's ask the live chat legends, how much are we going to pay for Bryan Mbeumo there from Brentford? But I'm saying 60 plus 5. That is my predictione of what gets accepted. And yeah, I mean, I think I've said this for a while that I think 65 will be the figure. So 65 million, but it may well not be. It could end up being a couple of million more, or maybe it'll be slightly less or the same as what they've offered, but just everything up front. So that might well do the deal there for Brentford and get it done in their favour. Let's see what you guys are saying here. 65 million. Yeah, agree, Piggy, if they want 70 million, walk away. The Primot getting in there raw. What's going on, lad? Everybody's name's reverted, so you're no longer Mr. Mustard. What? Espash, yes, too much because of Poxy PSR bollocks. 65 plus 5. Pff, that's too much, isn't it? That's a piss take, isn't it? I mean, I guess what we've done all the hard work there. It would be a shame to lose it over like 5 million quid. But also, as I've said, it's not just about paying the extra 5 million quid on this particular deal. It has a knock-on effect. Also, it's less money you can spend in other areas of the squad. But the biggest thing for me is that lots of clubs that we're negotiating with this summer will all try and just squeeze that money out of us because they know that we are prepared to pay a little bit of an extra premium for players. And that's not really good. We don't want to be in a weak financial or negotiation position. 65 plus 5. Oh, man, that's absolutely crazy. I mean, true. I mean, it's not our money, is it? It's not our money, is it? To be fair, you know, if you think about that, why am I so low down today? There you go. I don't know. But anyway, I have to sit up straight there. 55 plus 10 million in add-ons. I like your style. I mean, that may do the deal, but it's only slightly a better of a deal than what's being offered right now. I guess it is an extra 2.5 million down the line. Well, I think the reason why this hasn't worked at the moment is because Man United are looking to structure deals. You know, like with Mateus Cunha, obviously we've got that deal done for 62.5, but it's actually been done over a period of a couple of years. So maybe it's a case of United obviously trying to structure these deals a little bit, but it's not in the favour of Brentford. They probably just want 62.5 million right now up front, and then they can spend that money. And it's obviously a big transitional period now for Brentford as well, with Thomas Frank going. They're going to be losing some key players this summer. They already have done, and they will. And yeah, they probably just want to get as much money as they can for these players. So I guess they're prepared to wait, but they do want the money now. I think that's fair to say. 66 million up front. Oof. 66 million up front. 65, just get it done. Yeah, I would definitely be just paying 65 million if that's what it takes, even if it's all up front. Just get him in now. I actually prefer, anybody else prefer buying players up front? You know, like, I don't know what it is about these modern, I guess it's just they like to structure things so, yeah, they don't have to spend as much financially right now, and obviously for PSR reasons. That's all it's really done. This PSR guff has just meant that clubs are structuring deals over a few seasons. That's all it's really done. But, yeah, I don't like it. I prefer when we just buy players up front, to be honest. Not that it really makes a difference to me, and I understand the reasons for it, but it's classic Glazer shithouse tactics. Buying things on the never, you know? Klarna FC. That's it, really. They bought the club with debt money, and they're keeping us in debt by buying players. That's what's crazy. I mean, Ratcliffe came out and said in an interview a couple of months back, didn't he, that we're paying somewhere like 173 million out this summer to previous transfer purchases that we're still paying for now. You know, I don't see how that really is a good idea. It's better, in my opinion, to stay within your means, and even if you're buying a slightly lesser calibre of player, to stay within your means. So I don't really like all this structuring business over a couple of years anyway, because it's just gonna hinder what we're able to do in the future. You know, so I would like to see us just get rid of that anyway and just buy players up front. So I know that's not how a lot of deals are done these days, guys. Obviously, there's a big reason for it, as I've said. It's just like financially, if you can split a deal over 2 seasons, well, that means you've got literally another, like for this deal, for instance, or Cunha, say, that's over a couple of seasons, 62.5 million. If you only have to pay half right now and half later, it gives you opportunity to spend money elsewhere. It's less, obviously, financial burden for this season, but it does add extra financial burden for next season. So I don't really like it personally. But anyway, how can you possibly keep dodging FFP? Worrying. Yep, needs to start showing clubs they can't have our pants down. There you go. That's it. If we did walk away, that would send a clear message that if we're going to come to the negotiation table with you, you better not ask for too much. And let's face it, this offer that we've just put in, 55 plus 7.5 million, that's a cracking offer. That's the sort of offer that those Brentford melts should be accepting. It's in keeping with what we've done with the Mateus Cunha deal. It's got parity with that. And if I was them, I would have accepted it. But obviously they are just squeezing an extra couple of minutes out of us, and I guess they'll get it. Yeah, Ivor says 55 plus 10 will do it. That might well do it as well, yeah. Overall, 65 is probably what's going to do it. They might want 60 plus 5, but ultimately, I think that's about right, really, Ivor. 65 million is going to get the job done for us. So it's very close to being agreed, but it still hasn't been agreed. Structural issues, final amount issues. It seems like it's not far away, but it's been in this situation for a couple of weeks. So it is what it is, guys. We're trying to get this deal done. It could be any minute, but also could take a little bit longer still. I still expect us to sign him by, the start of July, really. That's true, Superstar. That's how Chelsea buy all those players. They actually stretch it to 5 years. Yeah, and then they do like crazy things, like give players 8-year contracts and stuff as well. Chelsea are the ultimate shithouse club there, when it comes to stuff like that, aren't they? Yeah. Dan says, if United are haggling over a couple of minutes, shows the time of change when they always just splash on big transfers. Yeah, but I actually think that's a good thing, really. I don't think it's good for us or healthy for us to be that team that just overpays for everyone, like we did with Antony. I mean, we paid 85 mil for Antony, we paid 73 million for Hojlund, etc., etc. There's loads of different cases where we overpay. We don't want to really be that club, because clubs know that they can just add an extra 5-10 million on for a Man United premium. Whereas if you play hardball, walk away from a deal or two, then people start to realise that if they're going to do business with you, they're going to have to be reasonable. So I don't know. I'm not. Wolves didn't have a problem agreeing a deal with us. We can say what we want about Man United's recruitment team being guff and everything, which they are, but still they managed to get a deal done there with Wolves. Wolves didn't have an issue with us structuring a deal. Wolves obviously a decent club to deal with for us in that sense. Brentford, not so much. They're a little bit greedy and they're prepared to make us sweat. Good afternoon, Gary Wasley. How you doing, my son? Yes. By the way, if you're just getting in here, do us a favour and smash the like button on this stream. Give us a like spike. It will help the stream out. Give us a like. We're almost at 100 likes. Thank you, everyone who's hit the like button there. Twat the likes if you're just joining us. Also, click the subscribe button if you're new. Yes, indeed, we're on our way to 92,000 subscribers on YouTube. Give us a subscribe. Get yourself involved and click the bell icon like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda, the bells. Okay, let's get on for a second here. It's a good thing we overpaid for too long. Need to draw a line. That's it. That's really where I was getting. That's the sort of the point I was making, really. It's like we've done that. We've already tried this method of just overpaying and getting the players in. But actually, it makes more sense for us now to be a lot more sensible with our finances. And not just the transfer fee paid either, but also things like the wage structure. Once you've got rid of bad eggs at the football club like Sancho and Rashford and these guys on hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, and eventually when Casemiro's gone, that's a lot of wages off the books, and it would be very good for us if we just were to be a little bit more sensible, live within our means a little bit more, and sign players with normal sorts of wages. Like when I say normal sorts of wages, the sorts of wages that the other sort of average club in the Premier League pays players. You don't see Spurs playing 3 or 4 players in their squad 350k a week. It's madness. So United have to really rein that in a bit, get rid of the big high wages. And if I was in charge of the recruitment, I wouldn't even sign a single player who wants over £200,000 a week at United. I wouldn't sign a single player for at least a couple of seasons. And like I've said, if you earn a little bit of a better contract at United, great. That's what you've earned. You deserve it if you've done well. If not, then you gash and you deserve nothing. So, yes, that's kind of how I view it. Like, United need to just rein things in a little bit. We are having some financial difficulties due to the shithousery of the previous manager and obviously the Glazers, obviously, and Ineos and these guys have not really done too much since they've come in. But we are still paying for our previous mistakes, and that's going to be the case for several seasons. We have to try and, balance the books a little bit, don't we? I mean, they're all talking about getting new stadiums, 2 billion stadiums and all this sorts of stuff, but there's a lot of other problems at this football club. Mate, thank you so much there, NSNY25. Let's go. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. I will give you more Timo Schafter videos. Don't you worry, son. No, NSNY, thank you. He says, remember the days you had the likes of Tevez, Ronaldo and Rooney up front? Do I? Oh, mate. Those were the days, weren't they? That 2007, 2008 era, lad. Oh, the days of absolute majesty with those boys up top there. It's a far cry from what we got now, yeah. And even when we do sign the likes of Cantona and Mbeumo, and if we can get Gyokeres or whoever, Visser, Mateta, it's still a far cry. It's still a far cry, but we have to try and improve slowly, incrementally improve over the next couple of seasons to try and get back up there and get the next crop of, Tevez, Ronaldos and Rooneys, but it's not looking too good at the moment. No, it is disgusting, actually. It is disgusting. I remember I actually saw an advert pop up on my timeline the other day. I was just scrolling. And it was an advert from Pepsi in I think it was 2002 or 2004 or somewhere around about there, yeah. Oh, who remembers some of those Pepsi adverts? But anyway, it was Man United. It was like a Western. Smasher One, if you remember this bad boy. It's a classic back in the day. Smasher One, if you remember, it's a Western, right? Beckham's a cowboy. You got Bobby Carlos pops up at the end there. It's basically Real Madrid. They've got Iker Casillas. They've got, and it's versus Manchester United, but they're cowboys and they walk into a bar and then Iker Casillas takes David Beckham's Pepsi and then Beckham says, outside. You outside. They go outside and there's like a makeshift goal there. Iker Casillas is in the goal and David Beckham is about to take a free kick against him and then he just whistles and his horse knocks in the free kick for him and then he drinks his Pepsi and everything's all good and then Bobby Carlos pops up and says, hey Beckham or whatever, let's mosey. Anyway, so it's a classic. It's an absolute classic advert. But the reason I'm even talking about this right now is, can you get a further far cry away from what we've become? It made me sad. It made me really sad. It wasn't the players that were in it. Yes, Beckham was in it. G Nev was in it. There was a few. It was a classic set. It was five people, I think, 5 aside. But anyway. Could you imagine that now? You couldn't even advertise Audi's own brand cola with our set of fucking no premium malts. Goodness me, nobody wants a piece of us in that regard now. It was Real Madrid versus Manchester United 20 years ago. It was this guy, we're the best team in the world along with them, and this is the two looking best teams from England and Spain coming together, and it was like, here's our stars, there's your stars, we're a massive, massive team. And now, goodness me, Could you imagine that advert being made now? With Slabby Maguire and Rasmus Hojlund and stuff in there. It would be shit. Nobody would buy your product, mate. Nobody would buy your Pepsi or your Audi own brand cola. Nobody would do it. So there you go. We have really fallen off massively from where we were. We used to be one of the biggest, best teams in the world. Never mind clubs. Clubs definitely still are one of the biggest clubs, and we were even more so then, I guess. But right now, we are gash as a team. Back then, we were amazing as a team. Thank you, Iverly. Appreciate you. Oh, that's absolutely amazing. Yeah, lad. Oh, adios. Oh, they don't make them like that anymore, do they? What about a little less conversation, a little more action, please? Like that, I don't know, that underground prison game they were playing. It's absolutely epic. Oh, you can't see Onana in the ad. Exactly, that's what I mean. It would be pretty awful these days if that happened. Luke Shaw. Oi, that's my pie. I could see Luke Shaw doing a Frey Bentos advert, though, in all fairness. Good point. Yeah, exactly, Ron. It's pretty poor now, anyway. So, yeah, I just wanted to highlight that because it made me sad and it made me think of how bad we are and how much we've fallen off. And even with players like Cantona and Mbeumo, it still doesn't compare, does it? Nothing compares to then. Nothing compares to then, guys. It was the best. Anyway, so I'm going to continue now, guys, with the show. We've got a couple of other bits and bobs to discuss. But, you know, just to clarify the Mbeumo situation, that these negotiations are ongoing. Obviously, we're trying to get the deal done. It seems like it's not far away. He wants to come. There's no dramas there. You know, he's already said that he only wants to join Manchester United. And all the reports are from the likes of Ornstein and Fab that he's not going anywhere. He doesn't want to go anywhere else. He just wants to join Manchester United. But ultimately, the second bid we had was rejected. So Man United now have to try and table a new, fresh third offer. And as Fabrizio gave an update this morning that says that the negotiations for Mbeumo to United remain underway. Direct contacts ongoing. United and Brentford discuss the structure of the deal, add-ons, crucial details. United remain confident. So hopefully soon, guys. We'll just move on to this little bit of information here and just this topic. Marcus Rashford remains in contention despite the potential arrival of Nico Williams. However, he may need to wait as the transfer could take until the end of the summer window to finalise. This is via Sport. Look, I'll be honest with you guys. Rashford's going to be difficult to get rid of. He is. He's very unsaleable. And from United's perspective, I don't know what we're going to do with him. Hopefully we can sell him to Barcelona. That would be the ultimate, but it's not expected they're going to be able to pull that off financially right now if they do sign Nico Williams. So their priority is obviously Nico Williams, and if they do sign Nico Williams, why would they even want Marcus Rashford? He's a gash number 9. So I actually think he's not going to Barca anymore. I don't think so, not without Nico Williams' arrival taking place. So let's ask the live chat, guys, yes or no? Do you think Rashford is going to go to Barcelona? I don't think he is now. I don't know. I think we've got to start thinking of some plan Bs, Cs, Ds, Es and Fs. Because, yeah, where are we going to get this guy gone to? It might well end up being Barcelona on loan. I suppose that's the most likely outcome. If he really is dead set on going to Barcelona, then we won't be able to sell him to them probably, so we're going to have to look at maybe loaning him out. So it could be a season-long loan. We've seen reports previously that Barcelona are interested in a loan deal if it's just for a straight-up season loan, basically, with them covering a significant amount of our wages. But I don't think they even want to pay all what we pay for him. Nope, says T-Mill. Absolutely not. Yeah, Rashford, Sancho disrespecting this great club. Oh, goodness me, he'd have had him out pretty quick, wouldn't he? You're stuck with Rashford, says Aidan. No, says Daz Salford. Yeah, I've seen a bit of Chevalier, lad. He's a good young keeper. Again, I don't necessarily think that he's right for us right now because he is a bit less experienced, and obviously he's not got that Premier League proven experience, and also he's coming from the Mickey Mouse French League, so it is a bit of a gamble. But he obviously does look really good and has a lot of potential, definitely. So does that Garnacho as well, to be fair, over in Italia. He'll be back on the bench here, to be honest, as Scott. I could see that, mate, because it'd be difficult to get rid of him. That's it. I could see it happen. And at the moment, it's not even guaranteed we're going to be getting a striker. So if we don't, I mean, I would rather have Rashford up there than Hojlund, as long as he sorts his bloody attitude out and isn't, a sulk. Let Rashi train alone until his contract runs out, then cut ties. I mean, Rashford's got like 3 years left on his contract. He's on 350k a week. That's 1.4 million a month there, Primot lad. We can't afford to do that. We're better off just letting him go out on loan, I suppose, and just taking a tiny nominal fee up front, and then they cover most of his wages. At least it's, most of the strain of the wages off the books. Either that, or if the deal is really bad for us, there's no point even getting him out. Honestly, if he sorted his attitude out, I'm sure if he can't find a move anywhere, if there's nowhere that wants him, and we can't reach an agreement with anyone, then he's a Man United player. I'm sure he would want to still play. But again, I don't think he would be introduced back into the squad because Amorim sort of made his stance clear by loading him out in the first place that he's not really got a place in this team. And it's an attitude thing, but also probably a systematic thing as well. So Rashford is certainly one of those guys that's seemingly gone out of Amorim's ideas. But you just never know. You just don't know. He could, I suppose, if they were to reconcile, maybe find a place in this squad again. But it is unlikely, I'll give you that. It's quite unlikely. Hey, thank you for subscribing there, God-fearing legend. Give us a subscribe there if you're new, guys, like God-fearing. Thank you very much for hitting the subscribe button there, you legend. Also, drop the likes on the video if you're just getting in. Every like helps us compete with clickbaiters and corporations. So hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and all that jazz. Share us around. We'll shout out everyone who's reposted us in a min. Okay. What's this? Is there a chart that shows the face-mounting cash drain per week these motors cost? I mean, there probably is. But you know what? It's kind of like almost like a representation of society, lad. It's like there's a few big fat cats at the top which make most, you know what I mean? If this was a pie chart, a lot of this pie chart would be taken up by Luke Shaw. No. Sorry, if this was a pie chart, a lot of this would be taken up by Rashford, Sancho, Casemiro, you know, or even Mason Mount and some of these Mounts that are on a couple 100,000 a week as well. It's like a lot of the pie chart is taken up by players who are just bloody useless for us or who don't pull their weight. So yeah, it would be annoying there, guys. Sorry, I couldn't leave it alone there. Johnny Swan, yes, lad. How you getting on? Luke CX is in here as well. Yes, my son. Simon Warner. Just let him retire and he can focus on matters outside of football. Hey, fair enough. But you know, Rashford is still a good player and he still would be good at another team. He is effective. He does score goals. He's not the best player I've ever seen by any means, but he is a good standard player. And he would be wanted, I'm sure, by a lot of good, big European clubs. I'm surprised there's not a couple in Italy that are more interested in him, to be fair. Maybe it is just his wages that price him out of a move there altogether. I'm surprised there's not one or two other clubs interested. But yeah, Barca at the moment is seemingly where he wants to go. You know, been out there twerking in Spain for them for a while. So that's where he seemingly wants to go. And if that is going to be the case, then good. Get him gone. But I would like to see us sell him rather than a loan move. But I think obviously a loan move is better than nothing, especially if they're going to give us a few million up front and cover his wages. I don't think we should really let him go there if they're not going to cover 100% of his wages. I think that's pretty crazy. That's mad. You know what I mean? Like, why would we let him go there for less money? They didn't even have to really take a gamble on him and pay much up front. It would probably just be a nominal fee for a few mil. That would be very gash. Dave Watkins says, did someone break YouTube? I don't know what the hell's going on with YouTube, mate. It is absolutely gashed up at the minute. I quite don't understand what's going on. But yes, YouTube unsubscribed Flying Pig to my channel. What's going on, John James Power, mate? Are you for real? What the hell? I don't know what is going on with everybody's names in the chat, though, but everybody's got different aliases to usual, so YouTube's definitely having a bit of a stinker at the moment. Hi, Liverpool fan. Love your content. Big up Al Pacino. Thank you so much there, Al, lad. I appreciate that. Yes. Thank you. Liverpool scummer extraordinaire. You're having a great window so far, unfortunately. Get the milk bags out. Oh, that's the plan. Anthony, Sancho, Rashford, Mount, Shaw, Maguire, Cass, Hojlund, Xerxes, Garnacho. Add the wages up for that lot. Fair enough. Yeah, that's a lot of money. I mean, obviously, Maguire's going to be staying. Shaw will be literally impossible to sell. Mount is probably not going anywhere either, let's be honest, but it would be nice if we could get him off. But you're absolutely right. I mean, to be fair, I think you're just mentioning players here that don't really do that well. But actually, Maguire is a decent squad player. Casemiro, last few months, he's been very good for us. He's a decent player, but he's not worth his wages anymore that he's on. Hojlund, yeah. Xerxes, still, I think, will be good for us, potentially. We'll still have to wait and see. Garnacho. It's a lot of money, mate. You're absolutely right, Lee. It's a lot of money that these guys are taking out the club. Hello, Pete Morris. What's going on, you legend? Okay, so what else have we got to discuss here? So, yeah, there is obviously the feeling, that Sancho is still on with the potentially Fenerbahce deal there. But it does seem like this is happening now. They're going for Duran. And that's what it looks like, because Sancho's just too damn greedy. They'd rather go for a player over in the Saudi league or whatever who's also on shitloads of cash, because he's maybe slightly on less shitloads of cash, or they can get a slightly better deal or whatever than they can for our player, because our player's just so damn greedy and is on a ridiculous fee. So it doesn't look like Fenerbahce for Sancho is going to be going ahead, unfortunately, even though they did have interest in him. That was potentially the most likely place, because they were the ones that were thinking about paying the most money for him. We know that Napoli and Juventus didn't want to pay anything anywhere near what we're paying him. They were interested in him, but closer to like half of the wages that he's receiving at United. So they were not willing to do a deal, and he wasn't prepared to go for less money. Fenerbahce was a club that was, certainly looking like maybe they could do a deal for Sancho. It looked like Mourinho was wanting him. But now they've changed their attentions to Duran, it seems. So it's very unlikely that they'll be getting Sancho as well. So it does seem like they've changed their attentions now to Duran, guys. That's definitely right. But because obviously now he's asking for too much money, they're just they're changing their their target. Let the Sulkers sit in the bench for a season. Yeah, agree, Piggy. Guys like Slabby are good squad players, but will never win you anything significant. No, fair enough. I mean, he's not a good enough standard to be considered a truly world-class player, but he is a good player. He is a good character for us. He's a good, solid defender, isn't he, Slabby Maguire? When the back's to the wall and you need somebody at the back there clearing balls away and winning things, he's actually very good. He's just not the best in terms of mobility or covering and things like that because of his pace mainly. Sancho holding out for the Baller League. Yes, you know it. Luke CX. Yes, thank you so much for the super chat there, Luke CX, you hero. Love the ongoing updates. Thank you. What is the background on trawlers and sardines in a mafioso voice on the outros? Oh! Right, yes. What is the background on it? Okay, this is the background. For anybody who doesn't know. So many years ago, there was a man named Eric Cantona. And Eric Cantona got banned for Kung Fu kicking a fan at Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Remember that? Kung Fu kicked him over the advertising hoardings, then got up and gives him a cheeky right hook, mate. He got banned for whatever it was. 8 months or however. How long was it in the end? I think 8 months. That's what's good. That's what's in my brain for some reason. Anyway, when he was coming back, they held a press conference with his return or whatever. I think it was around this. I think that's what it was for anyway, this particular press conference. And then the press conference was arranged with Cantona, to discuss his return. And then what he did was, obviously all the press is assembled, all the press are there, they're there to discuss and ask him questions, he's there to receive questions. And then all he does is, the microphone's on, he just says this to all the journalists, he just says, when the seagulls follow the troller, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. And then he just gets up and leaves and doesn't talk to anyone else or say anything else. It was fucking legendary, mate. So that's what it is. It's just, I don't know, it's just something that always stuck with me, lad. So I use it as my sign off on some of my videos there, lad. But thanks for asking. Legendary stuff, though, from the King back in the day. Thank you for that, Luke CX. Appreciate the super chat there, lad. Nice one. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mad Eric, footballer, poet, philosopher, karate, blue belt. Yeah, 8 months, 2 weeks in the can. The kick was amazing. Went to prison too. Yeah. Hope everyone's well and enjoying their weekend. Yes, absolutely. It's a tribute to Eric Cantona, yes. Unbelievable story, really. Yeah, you got to look it up, mate. It's legendary. Press conference was weird. Yeah, it's amazing. What was he on? Best sign off on YouTube. He's a bit of a lunatic. Do you remember when he received that? What was it? I can't even remember what it was now. Some sort of award, and he's like talking about life and how when we're gone, we're dead, and he's talking like real deep, some sort of like Champions League draw or something. I can't remember now. He's just talking some deep stuff about life. Brilliant. He was a great character. Oh, one of my favourites of all time, if not the favourite. Definitely left the dumb reporters scratching their heads. Absolutely. But obviously what it just means is, he's calling them seagulls, and they're following him, thinking they're going to get scraps and sardines and, bits and bobs of quotes and stuff to use and for news stories and all this, and he just fucking did one. That's basically, I think, what it means anyway. Ryan Goodwin, thank you so much for getting in there with a super chat, my lad. Let's be having you get some love hearts in for this man. He says this: in my opinion, Sancho and Rashford are good squad players at best, both very overrated and have a huge ego, definitely not worth the wage demands. Very true, yeah, very true. And, Amorim obviously has not really had the sort of run-in with Sancho yet. He was out on loan already, wasn't he, before Amorim was even in? Is that right? Yeah, I think so. I think it was before Amorim came in, wasn't it? That Sancho was already out on loan to the Chelsea club. Pretty sure it was. Anyway, the point I'm saying is he hasn't had the falling out with Sancho, so I suppose, technically there could be some sort of reconciliation there, but it's very, very unlikely because he doesn't even really fit Amorim's system either. Rashford doesn't fit his system, so for those reasons they're probably not involved. But then, like you say, they would be all right squad players right now. Of course they would. They would be absolutely fine as squad players if they had the right attitude, if they were actually hard workers and prepared to sort of adapt and change and play in Amorim's system and work hard and sit on the bench sometimes and be there for the team, then that would be okay. But the reality is, you just hit the nail on the head. They're not worth what we pay them because they're just who pays squad players 350k a week. It's the same with like Mason Mount. We signed this motor for 60 million and we're paying him a couple 100k a week, and he is literally just a backup squad player melt, especially even more so now with the likes of Mbeumo and Cunha coming in. So crikey, we are awful when it comes to this sort of stuff, paying these wages and getting players in that we just can't get rid of. Hello there, the Cake Cadet 8450. He says Sancho and Rashford need to piss off. I don't care if it's just a loan, get them out. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Cake Cadet. That's what it comes down to. You just got to get them gone out of the football club, and once they're gone, we should hopefully be able to move on a little bit more. Less toxicity around the place, less uncertainty, maybe a better mentality. Certainly don't need toxic players involved. So even if we can't get rid of them, I wouldn't really want to see them involved with the team, because obviously clearly they're not wanted by Amorim. They don't really want to be here. Rashford said a few months ago he wants a new challenge. We know what Sancho's mentality is like. He's just an absolute spoiled little brat who gets paid 300k a week and just doesn't really care, it seems. He'd rather stay and rot on the bench and get 300k than go and play for a great team like Napoli or Juventus in Italy for 200k a week or 150k a week. He's just a money merchant, and I understand it's huge money. Why would you turn it down? But he's only got an extra year left on his contract. Has he not already sucked enough money out of the club and made enough money and have enough in the bank? Would he not rather go and play football? You've got to admire people like Cristiano Ronaldo, who had a big contract at United. I know he's super rich, but still he's just like, yeah, we'll just agree to terminate the deal and I'll walk away. Don't need any compensation. I'll just go sign another massive deal because I'm actually a good player and teams actually want me. So I'll just do that and be a free agent. Yeah, thanks for the memories. Whereas Sancho's like holding on like a fucking like a holder honour. He's really holding on, this guy. He's a lingerer. He's absolutely lingering. Fart in a spacesuit vibes. So he is not going anywhere, I don't think, unless he gets the same money as what he's getting right now at United. Dude, I don't even know, Cake Cadet. It's like doxed a lot of people, mate. They've changed their system. I don't know. It's using everybody's handles now on YouTube, mate. It's so strange. But what's happened is people have a different handle to what their actual name was on YouTube, and a lot of people have their actual name on here, and then it's like flashed up, and then people are like, well, it's not good, mate. I don't know what's going on with YouTube's business, lad, here. Sancho, easy, one of our worst signings. Absolutely. Like a leech, a limpet. That's a good way of looking at it. A limpet, yep. Greedy players were driven bad ownership. Can't blame them. Blame the club. Well, you can't really blame them for getting the big contracts that they got. That's fair play to them and their agents. Certainly true. The club is the ones responsible for giving these long contracts to gash players and paying them too much. Luke Shaw till 2028 and all this sort of stuff. You're absolutely right. That is on the club. But again, these players should want to go and play. I mean, in particular, Sancho. I know Rashford wants to go away and play. I think that's obvious. He went on loan to Villa, wanted to play. He wants to get in the England setup. He got back in the England setup. He wants to play in the World Cup next year. I think that's clear. But Sancho, on the other hand, I don't think he really gives a toss. Sancho should be fighting tooth and nail to get out the club so we can play first team football at a good level and try and get in the England team for next World Cup. That's what he should be trying to do if he had any bottle about him, because he was involved in the England setup. It's not too beyond the realms of possibility to think he could get in there between now and next summer if he had a really good season. So he's just a melter. Why would he want to do this? Why would he want to just stagnate? Well, I know why. It's all about the money. Does this mean that there are over 8,000 other Cake Cadets? Please, God, no. That's not worth thinking about, is it? You don't know who anyone is now. It's pretty strange. I don't like it either, lad. Can Man United get Ekitike? Well, we could get Ekitike, I think, bud, but he's going to cost a lot of money, probably around 60 million. And his stats are decent in the Bundesliga, but they're nothing crazy. He does obviously have big potential, and he looks very good, but I don't know if that's really best money spent. If it was a bit cheaper, if he was 30 million, 40 million, I'd say, yeah, let's get him. Take a punt. But for 60 million, I don't know. You're probably better off getting somebody who's a few years older, like a Gyokeres who's 27 and has a more proven record. But maybe it might stop the Scousers coming in with their real names. Very true. We've lost our identity due to lack of funds. Right. Anyway, I'm just going to get stuck into the live chat now, guys. So we've obviously covered. There's not much news going on today, really, folks. I mean, Gyokeres. There's been a bit on Gyokeres. Nothing much on Gyokeres, but it's still expected we are in the running for Gyokeres down the line if we can sell players, because of the fact that Arsenal apparently advancing in some way with Benjamin Sesko there. So if that happens, then Gyokeres is free and available to join Man United. That's really all that the update is on Gyokeres. There's nothing much going on there too much, but it's just expected that Sesko may be, well, the target that's going to get finalised for Arsenal in the end, which leaves Gyokeres free to join Man United or someone else. So that's the Gyokeres stuff, and obviously he did never say no, did he? Gyokeres has never said no to Manchester United. He just apparently made it known that his preference would be to join a Champions League team such as Arsenal. So he never said no. You know, just say no, kids. Right, anyway, let's get into the live chat. But before I do, I'm just going to go over and shout out everyone who's given us a repost on X. Links pinned at the top. Give us a follow and big up everyone who's done that. But also, let me just shout you all out and get involved here real quick here. Yeah, nice one. Thank you to these legends such as Terry Hoskins, Javier, Aidan Vickery, the Butcher of Manchester, Jan S, Gary Wadsley, Paul, Francois Cock, Jason Jackson, Ashley Vogt, and Aaron Homeyard. Thank you so much, you legends, for sharing the show out there. That's 11 legends. Appreciate that, you dons. Okay, we've just smashed 150 likes as well. Thank you, everyone, for hitting the like button. Appreciate you. Timo Shafter is God's gift. Thank you, son. I'm going to have to try and get another Timo Shafter video done very soon about the Bryan Mbeumo deal, aren't I? Also, so another thing, we are on tonight for the Under-21s Euro final, guys. Come and join us for that if you're around later. It's 8 p.m. kickoff. We're going to watch England smash up the Germans in the final. So come and join us for that. Yes, growing the legends. Big up to the Bacon Brigade. Nice one, Lucky Singh says Bryan Mbeumo medical ready next week. Rob Dawson said United need offer just over 65 million. Brentford, great deal. Nice one, Lucky Singh. Yeah, well, I think it will be the medical next week. Certainly, yeah. I mean, that is being planned and arranged, I think, a couple of days ago. But, you know, obviously United have to agree that fee with Brentford first, and then they'll get the permission for him to actually do that. So, yeah. I think United make a mistake by giving Mbeumo 200k a week. Your thoughts? Well, the reports are it could be between 150 and 200k. I don't think it is 200k personally. I think it's a bit less. But you never know until it's actually sort of come out properly how much it's going to be. But at the moment, I don't think it is 200k a week, Al Pacino lad. But maybe it is. Maybe it is. He's worth more like 150 in my opinion. I mean, I think he was on 45k at Brentford. Carlos Baleba. You're better getting a few pints of Guinness, lads, today. Oh, lovely, Martin. It's a hot day. Get a cheeky pint down, you lad. Nice cold one. Frankfurt want 100 million for Ekatike. Frankfurt quoted 100 million for Suitors for... I did see that a while ago, but then I did see other reports saying that they wanted a less than that. Because let's face it, 100 million is just... Nobody's going to pay 100 million for him. That's just ridiculous. Got like 13 Bundes goals last season. But yeah, that was the news last week. We were talking about that. We made a video on it, the 100 million euro figure. But there's also a lot of reports to say that they've, slashed their asking price because they'd never get that. What's your score prediction for tonight's game? We're going 2-1 to England. Yes, let's hope so, son, lad. Let's hope so, mate. Come on, England, lad. You'll be here. Nice one, Daz Salford, you legend. Gyokeres is the IKEA flatback furniture of football transfers. That's Victor Lindelof, mate. But no, you're right, actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're going to be there. Nice one, son. Is it on the telly? Actually, that's a great question. Big up there, Bonnie Perez says, hello, I'm a Spanish fan. We have a lot of rumours here going on about Gyokeres to Atleti, and I think Gyokeres transfer is going to happen in the last few days of the window. Could well happen. I think it's going to go on a long time as well because Sporting want a lot of cash, don't they? And it seems like they're going to play the negotiation game for a while. But Atleti, I mean, that if they were going for him, it would be a hard offer to turn down for him right now, wouldn't it? That's it. Man United are struggling, whereas, teams like Atleti... obviously Arsenal, those sorts of teams, they're just a lot better situated right now. What's the update on Mbeumo? Just that the negotiations are still ongoing, really. But no, this is the update from today. I mean, obviously, Man United's second bid rejected. Fab said a couple of hours ago the negotiations for Bryan Mbeumo to United are underway, remain underway. Direct contacts ongoing. So they're back and forth discussing that over this weekend. Let's hope he can get thrashed out this weekend and it's just a couple of extra million. 4-2 England. Oh, love it. Come on. Stefan Antonio. I am doing the under-21s. Yeah, they are on tonight, lad. They're on at 8 p.m. So England under 21s versus Germany under 21s at 8 p.m. Let me just go on Where's the Match and just see if that's what website I use all the time to find out what channel or whatever games on where'sthematch.com. Let me just go and check this out. So let me go to 8 p.m. and it's England under 21s versus Germany. It's on Channel 4, guys. Channel 4, terrestrial TV in the UK. Let's go. So it's on Channel 4, folks, in the UK anyway. Right, let's read out a few more comments then. Come on, England. Yes, let's do this. Can't we do 2 transfers at once? We need to put our fingers in pies. We should be working on transfers like the Martinez deal, Gyokeres deal, absolutely. I think it does come down to us not having a lot of money, though, and needing to sell players, though. You think that's their point? They sold Mamouche and don't want to lose another key player. Hey, fair play to you, my son. It makes a bit of sense. He is a baller as well, isn't he? Unfortunately. I'm a little bit worried about all the quality that City have added over the last sort of 6 months with, with obviously that Mamouche and... the new signings, the likes of Nori, etc. Yeah, it's on Channel 4. Thanks, guys. Normal telly. Yes, mate. Yes, Kate Cadet says nice. Yeah, so we'll be doing a watch-along for that. Kickoff's at 8 p.m. We'll get going about 7:40 p.m. or somewhere around there. Yeah, Bryan and Mbeumo push for move out, Tottenham out of the race. Yeah, that's right. Tottenham definitely not in. Any news on Emiliano? There isn't any more advanced news, unfortunately. Just the same situation. United are expected to be interested. But again, we probably can't do too much until we've actually got this Mbeumo deal done and then maybe in the process of selling players. At the moment, we aren't able to get rid of anyone to generate money. But it is expected that with the PSR refreshing, the PSR financial year or whatever refreshing on the 1st of July, that's when we'll see other teams come in more so for our players. England win on pens. Goalkeeper. I like Diogo Costa. I also like Martinez for that Prem experience, and he's more experienced. I like Diogo Costa. And then there's a lot of other keepers that we're linked with, such as Chevalier, Carnesecchi, and lots of different keepers. Yeah, no leaks, right. Fair play on the United News, no leaks, right? What do you mean that in regards to this deal being done or anything? Not at the moment, mate. No, there's nothing like that. I hate to say it, but City looks stacked. They do, don't they? Yeah. And I did see the highlights of their game the other day, and they absolutely smashed up Juve. Right, it looked like a very good performance. And I think Pep said something like after the game that he hadn't seen them play like that for ages, so a bit worrying. Brayman needs to put a transfer request in and force Brentford to sell him cheaper. Jonathan Gallagher, let's go. I don't think it's quite got to that stage. I don't think Brentford are going to push their luck much more than this last attempt. It's not uncommon, really, for a transfer negotiation to have more than 2 bids, is it? Third time's usually the charm. So I think that's what it will be on this occasion. It's like we will go in with a slightly improved offer, probably 60 million up front plus 5. And they'll accept it. So I think that's where we're at, really. If that doesn't get accepted, then yeah, you're going to start to have a player who's very upset and not happy. And obviously he wants to get in there before pre-season as well, I'm sure, and settle in. Yeah, it's coming home. Football's coming home. Come on, England. Man United short of funds. What the hell have we become? Well, Glazers shithouses run football club pretty much is the reason. Loads of debt, which we have to service every year. Missing out on Champions League football, losing us 100 million revenue, all that sort of stuff. Signing shit players under Eric Ten Hag, 600 million spent, most of it wasted. Paying huge wages on long contracts to gash-bang average players. That's what we've become. It's a joke, isn't it? You think the Leicester keeper looked decent? I know they went down. Yeah, put in a shift. Of course, they're stacked cheating bastards. You hope Harvey Elliott scores tonight in the final? Yes, mate. Could be. What time? About 7:40 p.m, lad, will be on. City and Liverpool are serious. They have taken their incomings to the next level. They really have done pretty tremendous things when it comes to their signings, unfortunately, lad. Arsenal to lose their second spot. I think so. Yeah, I do think so, Luke. Based on who they've signed so far. I know Arsenal are up there, but I expect them to probably finish like third this season now. With what City and Liverpool have done. I still think Liverpool may be winning the league, because they were a lot further ahead than City, but let's be honest, Pep is capable of just getting them to have a great season from the off, and if they start to build the momentum, they could be back to being that classic oiled City scummer team with new signings who are hungry, and, they've refreshed. Zayn Miassi, get in there, Zayn. How are you getting on? Thank you for the super chat, Zayn Miassi, lad. Oh, yes, he says, Piggy, how will you cope with Easy and Zubamendi when we visit? Cunha, only one signing made enough. It is not to make top 4. I mean, we're probably not going to get top 4 anyway. Let's be honest, that's not really our target this season. But how will we cope with them? I mean, it's just one game of football, really, Zane. I've got a feeling Arsenal won't be all that much by the first game of the Premier League season. You know, we are definitely capable of beating you that first game. If we get the signings that we can get and we have a decent pre-season, we're capable, lad. You know, so careful what you wish for there, lad, honestly. But I do agree it's not enough for us at all at the moment. Cunha only one signing is pretty piss poor. But how many signings have you got, Zane? Eh? I think you've only signed one player, haven't you, as well? Norgard, right? Who else have you signed? Eh? Answer the damn question. I don't think you have signed anybody, have you? So, yeah, you know, you're one to talk. But then, fair enough, you only probably need one or two signings, let's be honest. You know, a striker is much needed for you guys. Man United need about 5 signings, so that is the difference. Anyway, thanks for that super chat there, Zane. Appreciate that. Get in there. Appreciate the shithousery, lad. Cunha only one signing is not enough. You're absolutely right. We need to get some more in there. Aaron Homeyard, thank you so much for putting that in there. That is the link to the watch along tonight. I'll pin that to the top of the live chat then. If you could go over there at the end of this stream and smash a like on it and a reminder, I'll see you there for the watch along. It's already set up. Ignore the thumbnail for now. It's a gash thumbnail. I've just got to set it up and redo it. But there it is. Nice one, mate. Lovely stuff. That's beautiful. Right, let's read a couple more out. Then I'm going to wrap this one up because I'm absolutely baking in here. Oh, goodness me. 70% humidity as well. What the frig? 27.1 degrees Celsius in here right now. I'm melting. I'm actually sweating. For the keeper, what about Leo Roman? Check him out. Could get him less than 10 mil. Interesting. I haven't really seen too much about him, you know, Bonnie Perret, but I'll take your word for it, lad. You can be our new La Liga scout. Same piping on if they won anything. Our aim is score more goals, top 10. Nice, nice. Exactly. That's it, really. Top 7. Top 7. I think top 7. Yeah, or top 8, you said there. Top 7. Try and get European football. That should be our target. We are going to spend a significant amount this summer, and there is going to be a change. And Amorim has to do well. There has to be a certain high target, not a ridiculous target like top 4 or winning the league, but there certainly has to be a reasonably high target to achieve, which should be, you know, yeah, like top 7, top 8 in his first season back after we finished 15th is not the worst thing, but I just want to see us get back into Europe. Yeah, struggle to get top half again. A squad is putrid at the moment. It is, but remember also we should hopefully have a different look squad soon if we can sell who we need to sell and sign who we need to sign. That is a big if, but we should have a new sign. I have no idea why, Stefan. I don't know. You can change it, Stefan, so you can actually go into your settings and change it to something customized. That's just the standard one that it's given you randomly. But yeah, you can change it. No, I don't really, Ivor, unless there's something, I don't know, like that happened or whatever. I'm taking a little clip from it to use as a news thing, or I don't know. Not really, no. Fried bacon, yes, indeed, Dan PJK, let's go. See, I don't know who that is now. See, everybody's names on YouTube has changed. Luckily, I know who the Primot is, but Dan PJK, who are you, Dan? You're a classic, right? But I've forgotten, because there's so many names, and now everybody's got different aliases, and I've bloody forgotten what your actual name is on YouTube, mate. I don't like it. Norgard, Kepa, Zubamendi. Oh, yeah, shit, they have as well. Of course they signed Zubamendi and Norgard. I don't really count Kepa because he's just some 5-minute addition, but you are right, they have signed 3 players. That's gash. Even Arsenal are outdoing us, mate. Gosh, what's going on? Lost track of all the transfer news. You're going to have to watch it back there, VJ. But basically, what happened last night is Brentford rejected our second offer, and now they're asking for a little bit more, and we're probably going to reach an agreement soon. That's probably what's going to happen, but if they're too greedy, then we might walk away. Paul Warburton, good call. Yeah, thank you, Ivor. Appreciate you. Yes, we're going to wrap this up. Ezio, I know who you are. Yes, cheers, Piggy. We'll revert back. Nice one. Guys, I'm going to wrap this show up then, but thank you so much for tuning in. That's the latest update. Oh, hang on. Just before I go, I'll check Twitter, see if there's anything new about any of this goings on today. Before you go, though, smash that like button on this stream. Every little like helps out the channel. Give us a like. Hit the subscribe if you're new. We're on here for all the United news. We'll be back on around about 10 p.m. Just after the England watch along, or maybe 10:15, 10:30, I suppose. Zayn Miyasi with a super chat before we go. There you go. He doesn't want me to go. Zayn Miyasi says, if you sack Amorim by Christmas, who you get? We're also getting Rodrigo from Real. Are you excited for Avatar free trailer or Resident Evil 9 game more? Definitely, I would be more excited, I guess, for Resident Evil, because I've got no interest in Avatar whatsoever. In regards to sacking Amorim by Christmas, I don't even want to think about that, bud. You know, there is a reality where that happens if he continues the gash form and style and everything that United were playing after signing new players and getting rid of players, and we're the same, and we're languishing in 15th by Christmas. He probably will get sacked. But I don't really want to think about that. I'd rather think about the reality where his signings do really well, we get rid of the toxicity at the club, the players generally have a better standard, and we start to win more games and score more goals and be a better team and not get sacked by Christmas, lad. So that's what I'm thinking about. But if we were to get rid of him, who would we get? It's just a great question, isn't it? I don't even really want to think about it. I'll be honest, mate. Don't even want to think about it. So, not thinking about it, not talking about it, don't want to know. Don't want to even give you the time of day there on it, lad. Not talking about new managers. We've got our manager. It's Amorim. He's the manager. Until otherwise, I don't want to talk about who could replace him, lad. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for that, Zane. Appreciate the super chat, though. Right, we'll wrap it up then. Big ups to the legends. Another great show. Thank you, Ronster. Thank you, everyone. You can always come back and have your say in the not live comment section. Get your thoughts and opinions in after this video is finished. Thank you, Kate Cadet. See you tonight for the under-21s. Watch along there, lad. Let's go, Simon. Let's go, Jamie. John James Power as well. Lucky Singh, Luke CX, Bottom Bliss, Stefan, Daz Salford, you legends. Simon, Jason, Son. Let's go, Paul Warburton, Wayne, Ranikar, Stefan, and everybody else as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to be it for the show, but we will be back on tonight for the England-Germany Under-21s Euro final. And then, of course, we'll do transfer news later after that as well for the evening's rundown. But if there's anything in between, anything big, breaking news, we'll jump on. So make sure you smash the subscribe and click the bell icon. Thanks, guys. Links are in the description. Give us a follow on all those socials, and I'll see you later on. And remember, Piggy loves you. And also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much. Get in there, you beauties. Thank you so much to all the patrons here for supporting the channel on patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. As a thank you, all you legends will be appearing on this outro list. Get in there. Once again, thank you to all the YouTube members, but one of the best ways you can support the channel is on patreon.com, so check it out. Patreon.com/FlyingPigUnited. And once again, a big thank you to all the legends that do support the channel on Patreon. Get in there.